All right, guys. So I haven't covered the so-called GOP civil war in a while because tensions seem to have simmered down, right? Eyes have been on other things outside of the infighting in the GOP. However, I'm back on the trail because Liz Cheney, probably the most delusional Republican in the party right now, has basically decided that she is going to come out and continue to divide the party that is trying to unify behind Trump. At the very least, they're trying to unify behind Trump to win 2022. Now, I can't make any promises for what the party is trying to do after 2022, but I do know for sure that they want to at least appear to be unified in regards to supporting Trump in order to have a cohesive strategy to win 2022. However, Liz Cheney is getting in the way of that because she is openly trying to defy Trump, right, and deny Trump's leadership in the party. Matter of fact, when she was asked at the GOP retreat, right, there was a GOP retreat this weekend in which they all got together to discuss policy. She was asked point blank, like, who is the leadership in the Republican Party? Look at her answer.
I think right now the Republican Party is headed by Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy in the House. I think our elected leaders, are the ones who are in charge of the Republican Party. And I think as we look at 22 and 24, we're very much going to be focused on substance and on the issues. And I think that's where we've got to attract back the voters that we lost in 2020 by conveying to them that, in fact, we are the party that they can trust. We're the party of competence and of conservative principles. Thank you.
All right, guys. So as you can see, she just straight up left Trump out, right? And obviously this is a swipe at Trump because we all know that, yes, Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell are the leaders of the Republican Party from a policy standpoint within Congress. However, Trump is the basically spiritual or figurehead leader of the Republican Party. Whatever he says kind of goes at this point. And for her to conveniently just leave him out is her saying that, you know what, I don't consider Trump to be a part of the party, right? I mean, it's par for the course in terms of what she's been saying this whole time, right? She wants the GOP to completely separate from Trump, right? There's a portion of the party, okay, that really want the GOP to move past Trump. And then there's a rest of the party that's like, no, we need to unite behind Trump because if we distance ourselves from Trump, then we're going to lose. So Liz Cheney right now, I'm telling you, is really pissing some people off. And one person that seems to be pissed off in particular is House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Take a look.
Is Cheney still a good fit for your leadership team, do you believe?
That's a question for the conference.
But what do you believe? What do you believe?
I think from a perspective, if you're sitting here at a retreat, it's focused on policy and focused on the future of making America the next century, and you're talking about something else, you're not being productive.
All right, so this dude was just asked whether or not he thinks that Liz Cheney should stay in Republican leadership, and he refused to answer the question. Usually in a situation like that, they'll just say yes, right? And they'll just keep it moving. But the fact that he didn't answer the question tells you everything you need to know in regards to how divided those two sections of the Republican Party actually are. I'm telling you, I think that there is a real divide in the Republican Party between those who want to move on from Trump and those who want to rally behind Trump. And I think that Liz Cheney is a part of the faction that is leading the party to move away from Trump, along with the other senators like Mitt Romney, like Lisa Murkowski, others that came out and voted to convict Trump during the impeachment trial. So this rift in the Republican Party is important because they want to appear as unified as they can, okay? Because that's really the only way they'll be able to beat the Democrats. If you got people that's going rogue here and there and they're not all on the same page, it lessens their chances of being able to actually win. So Liz Cheney, right, comes out and basically adds fuel to the fire here and says that she's not ruling out a 2024 presidential run. This is why I told you guys that she is probably delusional at this point, because there's no way in hell that she can win a GOP primary at this point. She just can't. So let's read here about Liz Cheney's delusions. House Republican Conference Chair Liz Cheney is not ruling out a potential presidential bid, the Post has learned. Quote, I'm not ruling anything in or out ever is a long time, she told the Post when asked if she would ever consider running in the future. The Wyoming Republican, who has been a frequent target under former President Donald Trump, said there are a number of contenders she sees as having potential for the 2024 nomination, adding that she believes the lawmakers who led the efforts on challenging the election on January 6th should be out of the running. Quote, I think we have a huge number of interesting candidates, but I think that we're going to be in a good position to be able to take the White House. I do think that some of our candidates who led the charge, particularly the senators who led the unconstitutional charge not to certify the election, in my view, that's disqualifying, she said. Interesting. She never said that about the Democrats back in the day when they basically tried to do the same thing. It's funny how she wants to disqualify people in her own party who did the exact same things that other politicians in the other party have done, but she hasn't come out and really denounced them like that or said that they're disqualified. Interesting how that works. I think that adherence to the Constitution, adherence to your oath has got to be at the top of the list. So I think that certainly will be a factor that I'm looking at, and I think a number of voters will be looking at as they decide about 24. All right, so this is delusional Liz Cheney, right? Warmonger Liz Cheney, okay? And lo and behold, Trump, whom has been looming large over this GOP retreat, he wasn't invited, but obviously his presence was felt, okay? As he comes out and releases a message and basically rips Liz Cheney and says, Liz Cheney is polling so low in Wyoming and has so little support even from the Wyoming Republican Party that she is looking for a way out of her congressional race. Based on all polling, there is no way she can win. She'll either be yet another lobbyist or maybe embarrass her family by running for president in order to save face. This warmongering fool wants to stay in the Middle East and Afghanistan for another 19 years, but doesn't consider the big picture, Russia and China. All right, guys. So Trump called her a warmongering fool and said that she would embarrass her family if she ran for president. Wow. He really ripped her a new one. So as you can see there, guys, Trump is essentially coming out and killing Liz Cheney's hopes and dreams of running for president, right? I mean, she was delusional to even believe that she would have a chance. Okay. And, a lot of people that really are kind of against Trump, like, the McConnells of the world, the Liz Cheney's of the world, they love to try to put this idea out here like, the GOP has a diverse pool of candidates that are going to run in 2024 when everybody knows that if Trump runs, he's going to win. There's nobody else that can actually beat him. The closest contender to Trump will be somebody like Ron DeSantis. And at that point, I would think that Ron DeSantis would have to choose very wisely as to whether or not he would actually want to run against Trump and appear to be an opponent of Trump, right, for his future political career. Okay, so, at this point, guys, I mean, it seems to me that the GOP, or at least the establishment, has decided that they're going to rally around Trump for the most part to try to win 2022. Now, beyond that, again, I don't know, but you do still have, a subsection of the GOP, like the Liz Cheneys, the Adam Kinzingers, the Mitt Romneys, the Ben Sasse, the Lisa Murkowskis, that are just done with Trump, right? Where they just don't care and they're openly coming out against him. And obviously, this is not a part of what the broader establishment wants because they're getting pissed off with each other, okay? And it seems that Liz Cheney may be in danger of losing her leadership position if she continues to go rogue. So, hey, we'll see what happens moving forward here, but this is definitely an interesting development. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.